SmackDown review for the August 15th episode of SmackDown. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We're the cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers and talk about some wrestling.
Yeah, typically, when we come on this show, we try to be as positive as we can be, and sometimes it's easier than others. Sometimes it's really tough.
Yeah, this was not our cup of tea in terms of a SmackDown episode. It was a tag team episode, and tag team wrestling is good on SmackDown, but in terms of overall story and star power and oomph, SmackDown didn't really have it this week, but we're going to do our best to go through it, be as positive as we can be, but just know it's going to be iffy, okay? We'll start, though. Solo comes out with the MFT to start the show. He said that, He comes out and he says last week on SmackDown, Sami randomly showed up and did his business to the MFT. So they went to Raw this week and did their business to Sami, and they stomped him out, which means they stomped Sami out, which means they've stomped Jimmy Uso out, and which means they've stomped out Jacob Fatu too. And Sami Zayn didn't want to hear any more of it. So his music hits. He comes out, big ovation. Sami says, I just want to talk. And the MFT are all standing in the ring, and Solo invites him in. But then Sami's like, no, come on, get them out of the ring. And Solo humbly obliges, and he sends them to the outside. So it is Solo and Sami just in the ring. And Sami said, I'm here just to talk because I want you to know that I want to thank you. He said that I wanted to be world champion and I want it to happen now. But when you attacked me and you've been doing this stuff to me over the last week, I've realized there's a lot more to do right now in my career than just chase the world championship. And one of those things is accomplishing something I never have done, winning the United States Championship. So I'm coming for you, and I'm coming for that belt. And Solo's like, hey, no, how about you shut up? You ain't even a part of SmackDown. You ain't supposed to be here, so get the hell off my show. And that's when Sami drops the line. He is officially on SmackDown. He's coming for that title, and that's when Solo tries to attack Sami, but Sami gets the best of Solo until MFT runs in there. They start beating up on Sami Zayn. Jimmy comes out. He gets his butt whooped. I don't even think he gets like a punch off, honestly. And then Fatu comes out, and that's when they start to kick some ass. And it does take all three of them to get Tala Tonga out of the ring. Takes a bunch of super kicks, and Fatu pushes Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso into Tala Tonga. He goes spilling out. All this comes out. He makes it official. We got ourselves a 6-man tag team tonight. So a lot happened here, but I'm going to drop it just from the get-go because I need to point out that SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown have all started with the exact same thing in the past week. It's been a promo that leads to a main event tag team match. That is too freaking redundant. I'm dropping all of it.
Yeah. I don't really have a ton to add here. I found myself, I know we talked a little bit about it during the live, that the promo from Sami is a little bit different. It's the same, but it's different. It's the same sort of thing, but a little bit different. It's fine. I found myself, I think Sami fatigued, I think is probably where I'm at. And so for me, it's all about Solo Sikoa in this feud. How can Solo kind of carry this feud for me, especially like the character side of Solo, the facial expressions, the one-liners. I mean, even tonight, the intensity of like the get out of my ring, get out of my show, get off of this, like all that stuff I thought was really good from Solo tonight. So I'm really kind of putting my eggs in the basket of Solo Sikoa on this feud of like, hey, please make me care about this because it's probably, I would say, not even like Sami's fault. I'm just personally Sami fatigued right now.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I just have a problem with the show being booked the exact same way. The past 3 episodes, I just think that we can't get a pass on that. Like, we got to do something different here, right? I mean, as much as I like these guys, we got to do something different. We went SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, same exact thing to start the show. Don't like that. We'll move on, though, because that's obviously going to come back to bite us in the end here. Alexa Bliss with Charlotte comes out to the ring to take on Piper Niven with, obviously, Chelsea Green and Alba Fire to do a singles action. Alexa Bliss, Piper Niven. And Alexa was showing her doll to the crowd. What's the doll's name? Lily. Showing Lily, obviously, last week. Charlotte got her the birthday gift where the Lily now wears the We're Not Friends shirt, and she's showing off to the crowd where Piper Niven is a human and is like, okay, my opponent is showing off to the crowd. I'm going to go ahead and take her out. So she takes her out. There was this little moment where like Chelsea went up to like get the doll to take it, and then Charlotte got in the way. I was like, no, you're not taking the doll. But Piper Niven destroys her for most of this match. You know, you have the dynamic where the Secret Harvest distracts the ref, so Chelsea can get a nice smack and stuff like that. So they're beating up on Alexa Bliss pretty good here. But eventually Alexa would get the best and go to the top rope to go for a twisted Bliss. And that's when Chelsea Green would walk over and try to get involved, but Charlotte Flair would come over, take out Charlotte or Chelsea, whatever. And then Alba Fire pops up on the apron. And so Alexa Bliss is like, nah, I can't do my twisted Bliss. She gets down, punches Alba Fire as well. And then she ends up moving out of the way of a Piper move and rolling up Piper Niven. So she gets the 1, 2, 3 on the roll-up win here. So Alexa Bliss pins her. The Secret Harvest does attack afterward. They beat up on Charlotte, throw her over the barricade, and then Piper Niven and Alba Fire hit their finishers on Alexa Bliss, and they stand tall. So Alexa Bliss ends up winning this match, but Secret Harvest gets to stand tall for one night, which I actually like. I like all this. I'm going to give it a pop. I want to see Secret Harvest and Chelsea Green be competent every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. I mean, fun stuff. The match was awesome. It was nice to see Piper throughout the night, even before the match. The backstage interview with Chelsea, like Piper's patting down Byron and removing his, pocket square and his tie and all this stuff. Like, it's nice to actually see some, like, the human side of Piper a little bit there, to actually see the character there. So it was awesome. It was fine. The match wasn't anything crazy. Alexa gets the win here, so that's cool. Nice to see Alexa get a win. And then, like you said, Secret Harvest stands tall. Kind of nice to see them being hopefully in a featured role, and Chelsea's like the accessory to the Secret Harvest now. The roles are kind of flip-flopped. I like that, especially with some of the stuff that like Chelsea's doing with like All Ego, right? Like that stuff's really cool. Yeah. So it could be like a really good thing where Chelsea just kind of enhances things for other people. And honestly, that is a great spot for Chelsea to be.
Yeah, I completely agree, because it's also one of those things where like we know that the Secret Harvest isn't going to win this feud. Like they're not going to take the titles anytime. And it's one of those things where Chelsea is going to kind of look dumb and kind of get pushed away, but she's not going to be taking pins because Piper and Alba are going to go in there and take pins, and people are going to have their opinions on that. I know Piper and Alba also should be getting wins here and there every once in a while, but it's Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. You're just not going to do it. But I like the idea that Secret Harvest is getting like a full-on feud with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. It's not just kind of a one-off, make them eat the cake, and then we move on to something bigger and better. So, it's nice to see them in a ring being competent, standing tall for once. I like that. We'll move on, though. Tiffany and Jade are backstage yelling at each other with Nick Aldis in the middle. And they're screaming, and Jade obviously wants a rematch of some sort, but then Nia Jax walks up, and she's like, Jade, she basically makes fun of Jade and says that she's never going to be a champion. So she wants a match now for the title because she'll teach Jade how to become a champion and what it takes. And I'm sitting there like, really? We're going to throw Nia back at Tiff again? What the hell is up with that? But nothing really happens. Tiffany kind of just says, Jade, if we fought again, it'd be the same story. So the same promo she cut last week. And then Nia, if you want some, come get some too. That's basically, she was just backing down from nobody here. Later on, you did have Kiana James come up to Tiffany Stratton, and Kiana's now the mouthpiece for Julia. And Kiana basically was like, I saw you with Jade and Nia earlier, and it looks like you're going to need some protection. So what better protection than me and Julia? Hell, I'll even get you like a custom pink belt to match the whole thing. So she's bribing Tiffany as well. So I don't know what is going on with Tiffany Stratton right now. They're not showing her enough on TV. You now have Julia and Kiana James wanting to be her protection. What is going on with Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown, man? Dropping that.
Yeah, I'm dropping it. Nikki Cross was in the background at one point.
That's a good
Tiffany Kiana thing.
Yeah, let's talk about that in a second.
So that was awesome. I give that a little like, hey, that was awesome, cool little thing. Yeah, the Nia stuff too, like throwing back in we talk about all these vortexes, right? Like Bloodline vortex or Seth Rollins vortex, or Nia and Tiffany are just stuck in a vortex, and doesn't really make any sense. And you sit there and you think about it and you're like, okay, Jade, we'll watch and learn how Nia defeats Tiffany, so Nia becomes a champion. Well, if that's the case, wouldn't Jade just learn how to become a champion, so then Jade would beat Nia to be the champion? Maybe that's just me overthinking things, probably so. Yeah, Tiffany is, I don't know. It's in a weird spot, to say the least. And then you wrap around the Kiana James and the Julia stuff, and you're like, okay, awesome, Julia's on TV. But actually, just kidding, she's not. She's not going to cross the T's and dot the I's, I guess Kiana James said. So another week of no Julia on TV. I mean, what are we really doing here with both of the women title holders on SmackDown? It's just a big drop.
Yeah, both women's titles are just in a hole right now. I mean, they don't know what they're doing with them. It's like one of those things where, do you want to see Tiffany and Jade again? I think most of us are in the boat of probably not. Do we want to see Tiffany and Nia again? Definitely not. We've seen that many times throughout the whole Tiffany thing. Do we want to see Julia fight and be on screen? Yeah. Well, no. Kiana James is going to be her mouthpiece and like try to team up with Tiffany. It seems like they're trying to wrap the women's title and the US title into one thing right now, one storyline. It's like, where are you going to take it other than the grave? Because right now you guys have no story for any of them. So how am I going to be confident that you guys can pair them together and do something good? SmackDown needs to rethink their entire women's division championship scene right now. It's not good.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have a storyline for either one of them. So like, what better thing than throw them together? Well, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah, and then who's going to fight anyway? Like, are we going to have Nia and I don't know. It's hard to
and
talk
Mi-Chin
about.
Showed up.
Mi-Chin showed up afterwards. She says that she's got next on Julia, and it's like, fine. You kind of called that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got Melo Don't Miz taking on Fraxium. And this was
Shout out Melo.
Shout out Melo. He's finally on screen.
Massachusetts Melo.
And this is when you kind of brought it up with Nikki Cross in the background. Throughout the entire night, the Wyatt Six were stalking everything. Like it was a whole SmackDown tag team episode. Wyatt Six were in the background the whole time. This match starts, and before we even lock up, Miz tags himself in to piss off Melo. And then we cut to the crowd, and standing like where Jey Uso makes his entrance is Gacy and Dexter Lumis. So they're there, then they disappear. Mm-hmm. Don't see him again in this match. This whole match was about Fraxium being absolutely incredible in the ring, and then Miz kept getting in the way of Melo being successful. I don't know what they're going to do with that story, but that was kind of how we went with this. We had this great part where Melo went for like a springboard off the rope, but then Nathan Frazier met him into a Spanish fly, and then they pop right back up, and Axiom got him on the top rope, and then a Spanish fly into a Phoenix splash from Frazier, and then the Miz broke the pin up by stepping off of Frazier into a DDT onto Axiom. So, I mean, the tag team action here is absolutely great. At the very end, though, Melo is getting all his stuff in. He goes to the top rope with Nathan Frazier and does a front-facing suplex cutter off the top rope. Yeah, it's crazy. Go watch it if you can. And then he goes up to go do his finisher on the top rope again. Miz tags himself in and does a skull-crushing finale so he can get the pin. 1, 2, 3. But Melo Don't Miz gets a great win here. It's looking like we're going to see more of them on TV, back and forth. They don't really agree with each other, but it's good stuff, man. I like it. I'm popping it.
Yeah, I'm going to actually pop and drop.
Okay.
Do a little bit of both. So, golly, the match was good. The match was great. You put Fraxium in there with anybody, it's fantastic. Melo was great. Miz was great. All around good stuff. Nice to see Melo on TV again. And I understand this is the storyline part, and I get it that the Miz is like, hey, you know what, kid, you're not ready. Just wait. Wait. But damn it, at the same time, I was like, I wanted Melo to get the pin. So that's why I have that drop in there, because I'm like, I just wanted the pin.
They're getting you on the story. Mm-hmm. They're getting you on your story. Any way that we get Melo on the TV is great. And then we are big Miz fans. We love him to death. And he's going to do the character work to get this whole thing over. And it's already, you can already see down the line, maybe they do get the tag titles, but they're going to have a falling out, and hopefully it's all good. But it means more Melo on our screen, more Miz on our screen. Big wins for me. Mm-hmm. Then we come out, Drew McIntyre is here to call out Cody Rhodes for what he did last week. In fact, he showed us a replay of what he did last week. Mm-hmm. So he played the Claymore through the announce table. He said, why did I Claymore Cody? Well, let's see it again. And he did that. He said, I did not, Cody Rhodes. Your eyes lie to you. But let's back it up. Joe, talking to Joe Tessitore, what's the medical status of Cody? Of course, I didn't tell anybody that. He just needs some time off is basically what he was insinuating here. He needs your validation, and I know that because I used to be Cody Rhodes 5 years ago, but my time came and went, and you all forgot about me and moved on just like you always do, and now I want that title because I earned that title, and Cody needs that title while I just went. He's nothing without that title. I did not attack him. Now to round things out, he even said that. He said he attacked me because the DQ happened while they were on the outside of the ring, and he even went to the outside to show us. And when the DQ happened, Cody was already in the middle of throwing him into the ring post, and then he cleared the announce table, which would insinuate that he was going to do more damage to Mr. Drew McIntyre. So Drew had nothing else to do but to fight violence with violence. And he said that he's pretty much very, very good at that. He don't back down from anybody, though. He says he is not the bad guy in this situation. Cody provoked him, and he will end the whole thing because he is the real Nightmare. That's what he said. It was good stuff. I liked it. Drew McIntyre, he officially has come after that WWE Championship title. He says that he is the real Nightmare. It's looking like we're going to get Cody and Drew, maybe at Clash of Paris. Popping it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. It was about let's say a 10-minute promo, and really like the last 2 minutes, I was like, okay. So he, talks about going in a big circle, full circle. I'm like, well, that's what this promo felt like for a majority of it. And then at the end, we got the good stuff. I was already excited about this anyway. And so this just kind of was like, okay, cool. Well, nice to hear Drew kind of talk about it. Some nice points in there from Drew. Thought at one point maybe a Randy appearance was going to happen, but then obviously that did not happen. So we just got the Drew McIntyre standalone promo. I don't know if it'll happen at Clash or not. Might be a little bit after that. Who really knows? But you give me Drew McIntyre, you give me Cody Rhodes, you give me a long feud. Like, I'm here for it. So
yeah, we've talked about it on our. We talked about it last week on last week's SmackDown review that we kind of saw this coming. We talked about it on our other podcast that came out this week on the Pushberry title. If you want to check that out, it's really fun. It's a good game that you can follow along with. But yeah, I'm totally in for it. This was a little bit awkward of a promo. I'm with you. It wrapped around at the end, but he meant to do that. Even in the promo, he literally said, "We'll bring it back now and connect the dots." So it was like, okay, I'm following you, Drew. But it's more heel Drew McIntyre that uses logic to do everything. He's doing more of that good stuff.
It's kind of like when you have a presentation in class and they're like, "Hey, you got to go 10 minutes." You're like, I got 3 minutes worth of stuff here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about a lot, and then I'm going to say the important stuff at the end.
It was a little awkward, but it worked out. We then got DIY and the Street Profits. Before the match, the MFT did kind of threaten the Street Profits because the Street Profits were talking to Byron Saxton about, well, if they beat DIY tonight, does that mean they're going to get a title shot? And the MFT were like, no, we're a part of this now, so watch out. In the back, there was Eric Rowan in his big old bunny costume and Talatanga in the background while Solo's talking. He kind of like feels the presence of the bunny and he turns around, but the bunny's already gone. And then Solo's like, "What are you looking at?" And Tala's like, "No, nothing. We're good, I guess." And so I don't know.
And then the bunny walks out with his mallet. Oh my God. All right.
The big old bunny. DIY Street Profits.
That'd be a hell of a match, wouldn't it?
It would be. We've seen this before, and it was great, as always. This time around, obviously, what we're pushing through from SummerSlam is Candice LeRae is now getting involved in the DIY matches. So, like, the Profits came out firing until Candice LeRae pretty much shielded Ciampa for half a second, and Ciampa was able to use that to his advantage, get the best of Street Profits for a bunch of the time. Eventually, though, we would get Street Profits going absolutely wild, and this is one of those times where there was like a 3.5 minute period where it was just move. It was just crazy tag team high-flying action, so it's hard to break down. But during that action, we would have Candice LeRae throw B-Fab, who comes out with Street Profits, into the steel steps. She ate it too. Like got really.
It almost looked like she forgot to or couldn't get her hands up or something.
She just ate it.
She ate it.
She just absolutely ate it. But down the line, and that would put the DIY back in the top of it. They were beating the hell out of the Street Profits for a while until eventually B-Fab comes back, gets her revenge on Candice LeRae, and that leads to Street Profits hitting the finisher on DIY 1, 2, 3. Street Profits win here. This was a good old tag team match. I think we're officially in the boat, though, that like the Street Profits and DIY and a lot of the mid-range of the tag team are kind of just now officially in this tag team limbo without even being in the title scene now. So we need a little bit more structure in the SmackDown tag team division because the matches are always great. So I'm popping it, but like story-wise and stuff, it feels like nothing's really happening anymore. So I am going to give it a little bit of a drop as well.
One of each?
Yeah, one of each.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop it because it was good stuff. But I'm with you. Like my whole thought of this match is, well, we've seen it before. If you've seen it once, you'll see it again. If you liked it before, you'll like this one. Yeah, and that's my opinion.
It's legitimately that, right?
Yeah.
Like it is legitimately the situation of like, yeah, these matches are great, but there's no meat potatoes to it. It's like the Candice LeRae B-Fab stuff is fine when you're telling a storytelling within like one match, but I don't see the overarching story there. Like what are we gonna do next week? Like we're gonna get B-Fab versus Candice LeRae, maybe. Fine.
I mean, for me, the whole story is just. I mean, I guess the Wyatts continue to they'll, have the impending doom or control over SmackDown. But like all these tag teams are just it's literally like a plug and play. Like, okay, you put Ray and Andrade in here instead of Street Profits.
Yeah.
You put Motor City in here instead of DIY, and you get the same thing where I'm like, okay.
Yeah. There's no real identity. And even the Wyatt Six tonight didn't actually get their hands dirty.
Nope.
They just were in the background, which is cool. But like, they didn't like enforce their doom over the SmackDown division tonight. So we need a little bit more oomph. I'm going to say that. We would go backstage, and Byron Saxton was happy to interview R-Truth. And R-Truth is happy again. He says, "I feel good about John Cena. My hero is back." And that's when Aleister Black comes in. And he basically says, "Are you going to feel this way? Are you going to be this happy when Damian Priest returns?" And that's when R-Truth stiffens his posture, and ups his chin. He looks like a different man. And he's Ron Killings now. And he goes, "How are you going to tell me who I am?" to Aleister Black's face. And they kind of just stare at each other and they separate. But very cool here. I'm going to pop it. We're getting the R-Truth, Ron Killings saying a lot of people were worried about R-Truth kind of just turning back to being goofy guy with John Cena. But it does look like we are going to continue the whole split personality R-Truth, Ron Killings. That's good.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, I think. I mean, depending on who he's interacting with, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, if we can get some more R-Truth on TV, that's fantastic stuff. That's great stuff. I do like the little switch. It's almost like maybe what they're going to try to do with Bayley on Raw, potentially, sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm all for it here. You had the chair and the White Six truck in the background. So even in this stuff, they're making an appearance. Earlier in the night, too, Howdy's in the background. Motor City is talking to Aldis, who's talking to Miz and Melo. So they're all making an appearance. But R-Truth stuff is good. It's great. Next week, we get Aleister Black versus R-Truth. So I'm assuming Aleister Black obviously wins that match. But I'm interested to see, if Ron, how his moveset is and how his in-ring is it any different from R-Truth that we get? Ron Killings is a little bit more serious, is a little bit more slow, is it methodical, is it stiffer, kind of like how John Cena talked about his moveset going heel to face sort of thing. I wonder if we get that same kind of intensity from R-Truth.
At the end of the day, I just want to see it. So put him in a match next week. We do. In Ireland, we're going to get Aleister Black versus R-Truth, which is going to be great. I'm with you. I'm interested to see what his moveset looks like, if he's going to play into the crowd like he normally does and do the copycat John Cena role, or if he's going to be a completely different man. I think that would be absolutely cool. But I was very, very happy to not only see R-Truth, but to see that they are going to continue the whole R-Truth, Ron Killings split personality thing overall. That's good to see. We've moved on. Sami Zayn is talking to Fatu basically in the back. Jimmy's there too, but he just wants to know if they're going to be cool going in this match. And Fatu, it made it very clear that he doesn't care about Sami Zayn. He doesn't hate Sami Zayn, but he's there for business and to go after Solo. So, stay out of my way. You know what I mean? That's basically what he told.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing they did with the previous Bloodline at one point. Well, I don't really trust Sami.
Yep.
Well, I'm cool with him. So does that mean we're cool? Well, I don't really trust you. It was the same thing.
Yeah. That would lead us to our main event. It was the MFT, but only 3 of them. It was Solo, JC Mateo, and Tanga Loa. Tanga was chilling on the outside.
He's on the graphic, though.
Yeah, the graphic insinuated otherwise. But it was them taking on Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu, and Big Jim. MFT's right away would start distracting the ref and beating the hell out of Sami Zayn. Before a commercial break, he even took a big old boot from Tonga on the outside, kind of like what he did on Monday Night Raw when he took the boot. So Sami's getting his butt whooped until later on the match, he was able to get a hot tag to the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, who got his 5 minutes of fame, man. He was killing everybody. He gave Tonga Loa a mean pop-up Samoan drop. He was doing, he almost did a suicide dive, but he didn't end up doing one. He goes for a Swanton bomb, though, and that's when Solo kind of holds his foot, and so he's not able to get the Swanton off fast enough, and by the time he does it, Tonga Loa gets his knees up, and then Solo gets a tag, goes to the top rope, gets a Solo splash off the top rope, gets the 1-2 from it, and that's when all hell breaks loose. I mean, there's no rules in this match anymore. You got the Blue Thunder Bomb. You got Jimmy running in there doing his super kick galore. You got Jimmy and Sami diving to the outside to take out Tonga, and then that leaves Sami Zayn and Mr. Solo Sikoa in the middle of the ring, and Sami hits the exploder, and Sami hits the Luva kick, and Sami gets the pin. He pins Solo once again. After the match, Sami, Fatu, and Big Jim, they're all dancing, which is good stuff. That's fun. They're hugging. But SmackDown ends with Sami Zayn once again pinning your United States champion, Solo Sikoa. So it looks like we're definitely heading that way in the near future for some sort of clash or one-on-one title match. I am going to give this an absolute drop. You can't do it. I know it's fun. People are going to enjoy it. The crowd was there. They were popping it. They were loving it. I get it. But where's the stock in Solo Sikoa? What more can I say? I feel like we're on a broken record. We say this all the time, and people are going to be like, you guys are just perennial Sami Zayn haters. I want to see Solo do well. I want to see the underdog be beaten up sometimes, and Solo just get a good win. I'm dropping it.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it a double drop.
Oh, double drop.
Double drop in this thing. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you've seen Sami Zayn comes out, and I said, well, Chad, have you seen a Sami Zayn match? This is what's going to happen, and this is exactly what happened. You talk about Solo Sikoa stock. I would say if nobody's on board with Solo Sikoa stock, maybe it's a good time to buy because it's low. The stock is very, very low here. Sami Zayn's the underdog. I understand, like I said, it's a little bit of a different story, but it's ultimately kind of the same. And for somebody that is Sami fatigued a little bit, like I said, just the worst way for me to like kind of end the SmackDown. Like, and you say like Sami Zayn hater, like maybe, yeah, sure, I'll openly admit that, but it's like, God, it's the same thing every time. Not even Solo Sikoa at this point. Now MFTs, they're continually looking like a joke week after week after week. Like I said, we're heading to a Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa U.S. title match. It's hard for me to not think Sami Zayn wins that, but at the same time, you're like, well, he keeps getting the upper hand. Solo's eventually got to get it. But at this point, like Big Jim, Jacob, even now Sami with the MFTs and Solo, this little vortex, we keep talking about the vortexes on SmackDown. Like, I'm just fatigued of all of it. All the characters involved, all the characters in the U.S. title scene, the MFT, like all of that stuff. I am fatigued of that. So something different would be nice.
You know, I really try to be positive on our Monday review of Raw. I was like, this is the right way for Sami to go. If they're going to not do the world title route or they are going to do the long range world title route for Sami, you have him start at the U.S. title with somebody that has a bunch of past with them, which is Solo Sikoa. And I know we are very early in it. We haven't really gotten like we're in the middle of a feud one-on-one promo battle between the two of them. Like tonight was kind of like establishing that, yes, this is the feud we're doing. But like we haven't gotten any hints at all of like the past stuff that's happened with Sami and Solo. And then on top of that, Sami's basically getting the advantage every time. And you're gonna be like, well, Monday night he got booted. Sure. But I mean, he's already pinned Solo Sikoa, the US champion, twice. There's guys like Tonga Loa there. Just pin Tonga Loa. Like I mean,
JC's also there.
And I
literally
anybody.
Either of the other
The argument that's the rebuttal is, well, he pinned him so that we can just go ahead and set up the match again. And it's like, you could have done that 100 other ways. I'm taking this more from the perspective of just like, I'm tired of Solo just always being a loser, man. Like he has the US title, but he's just always the clown at the end of the day on SmackDown. It's like he can never just have his day. It feels like he never does the damage to put anybody down. It's always his group. Like when Roman was a tribal chief, you had that where like the bloodline did the dirty work. But then there were some episodes when Roman did it. Like Roman established himself as being the tribal chief. I can handle my business. And I'm not saying Solo's to that level, but can we get a watered down version of that at any time? That would be nice. Just at one time. Give me a watered down tribal chief version of Solo one time where he can handle business for one night by himself.
Yeah,
right?
And I guess my question too for this is, and I mean, maybe we get this addressed, maybe we don't. But Jacob Fatu before the match was pretty upset. Like, I don't know this guy. I don't really care about this guy. Well, shouldn't he be upset that Sami's just coming right over to SmackDown and he's just taking the U.S. title opportunity that
and then they
Jacob just had, they got screwed out of, and they danced together. And I'm like, shouldn't you be somewhat upset? Like, I get it. You're both baby faces and you're both like, yeah, cool. But like, I thought he was all gas, no brakes. Well, he's hitting the brakes here because he's not. I don't know. It seems like he should. I mean, like I said, maybe down the line we get that. Maybe if Sami takes the title off Solo, maybe you get Sami versus Jacob. Maybe that's what they do. But I'm like, well, damn. You should at least be a little bit upset. You just got screwed over 2 weeks ago.
I know we're being too critical, and we should just have fun with it sometimes. But we're being nerds and we're breaking it down a little bit too much, and it's just stuff that irks us a little bit. So we gave this 9 pops. 9 drops. So it's very close to being a drop. We'll just go ahead and give it the drop. This episode's probably a drop overall. If you missed it, don't watch it. Thank you for watching our stuff. That's all you're going to need from it. But if you want to see our live reactions to it, you can go on our youtube.com/@CodWrestlePod because our live streams will be up for it. And you should come join our live stream on Monday for Raw and all PLEs and future SmackDowns for the WWE. And for everything else, it's @CodWrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. We have a link tree in our bio to take you everywhere, including TikToks for our live reactions, where you'll see our live reactions in short form. So go ahead and do that too. But I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we'll see you next time.